So friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Since the day we have started the topic group theory, we have seen what is group, we have seen what is definition of group, then we see concept of monoid, semi group, what is abelian group, non-abelian group, then we see the order of group, what is order of element of group and all those topics. Now in today's video, we will see about some results in group theory. So first of all, we will talk about uniqueness of identity. So friends, we all know that in the group theory, we consider element E as the identity element. And now we will see that uniqueness of identity. So according to this theorem, if G is a group, then identity element of G is unique. So we have to show that E is unique. So how could we prove this? Let's see. So basically what we have to do here, we have to take a group G and we have to take some element A, we have to take some element E and F in G, and we will claim that these both are identity elements, and we will show that in the end that E is equal to F. Okay, this what we have to do here. Now see the proof. Consider E and F two elements which are identity elements of the given group. Then we are considering that A is some element of the group, then A star E is equal to E star A is equal to A, and this is so because we have seen that E is identity element. Also A star F is equal to F star A is equal to A. This is also so because F is identity element, because we have considered E and F both as identity elements. Therefore from these two results we can say that A star E is equal to A star F. Both of these have the value A. So we can say that E is equal to F, because what will happen here, here we are saying that A star E is equal to A star F is equal to A. Therefore we can cancel out A and we can say that E is equal to F. Therefore the identity element of a group is unique. So this was the proof. Now we will go to the next theorem. It is the uniqueness of inverse theorem. So according to this theorem, if G is a group, then every element A in G has unique inverse, just like identity element. Okay, so what will we do here? Basically we will consider a group G and a element A in group G. We will consider B and C, which are inverse of A and both belongs to G. Then we will show in the end that B is equal to C, therefore there are not two inverses and those both are unique, and we will show that those both are same, so there exists a unique inverse. So let's go to the proof. We have considered A as the element of group and B and C are inverse of that element A in the group G. Also E is the identity element here. So AB is equal to BA is equal to E, and this is so because B is inverse of A. Okay, also AC is equal to CA is equal to E, because we have also said that C is also inverse of A. Therefore from these two we can say that now we have to show that B is equal to C, therefore there will be a unique inverse. So we will start with B first. Okay, we will start with B first, and we say that B, we can write it as B into E because E is identity element. Therefore then we said that B is equal to AC, because we have said here that AC is equal to E, right? This is from 2. AC is equal to E. Therefore we next do that BA is equal to C. We apply associativity here. Okay, then we say that E into C, because BA is equal to E from the 1. Okay, here we have said that BA is equal to E. Therefore E into C is equal to C, as it is identity element. So we show that B is equal to C. Therefore the inverse of A in G is unique. Clear? Let's go to the next proof. It is nothing but the inverse of an inverse. According to this theorem, if G is a group and A is element of G, then A inverse inverse is A. So basically what we have to show that inverse of a inverse element is A. So what we will do, first of all, we will write A inverse into A is equal to A into A inverse is equal to E. We know that. If we take any element, suppose A, and we multiply it with inverse, we get E, right? Identity. Also, now here what are we doing actually? Here we are considering A inverse as a element. Okay. Suppose let's substitute value for A inverse. Let B is equal to A inverse. Okay. So B inverse will be what? B inverse will be A inverse inverse, and B into B inverse will give us E. So we have said here that A inverse into A inverse inverse is equal to E. Is this step clear? Okay. Then from these two results, we can say that A and A inverse inverse are both inverses of A, because here we are multiplying A with A inverse and we are getting identity. Here we are multiplying A inverse inverse with A inverse, we are getting identity. So we can say that A inverse inverse and A both are inverses of A, and by the uniqueness of inverse theorem we have just seen that there is not possible that two inverses of a single element present in a group. Therefore A inverse inverse is equal to A. Clear? Let's go to the next. The next theorem is inverse of product. And according to this theorem, if G is a group, then for all elements AB in G, AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. Basically what we are doing, we are taking any two elements of the group, their product and the inverse of their product, and we are saying that it is equal to B inverse A inverse. So here what we will do, that we will first of all show that B inverse A inverse is inverse of AB, and for that we will start with B inverse A inverse into AB, because we have to show that this is inverse of each other, so we should show that their multiplication is identity. So what are we doing here? We take B inverse A inverse into AB. We can write it as B inverse into A inverse into A into B. This is by associativity. Then A inverse into A is identity, so here we put identity element E. Therefore B inverse into E into B, which can be written as B inverse into B, but B inverse into B is nothing but the identity. Therefore we have shown that B inverse into A inverse into AB is equal to E. Okay. Now we will show that AB into B inverse A inverse should equal to be E. Then only then we can say that B inverse A inverse is inverse of AB. Okay. So here we have taken AB into B inverse A inverse. Then again by associativity we took these two as A into B inverse into A inverse. Now B into B inverse is again identity element E. Therefore it is A into A inverse, and A into A inverse is again identity element. Therefore now we can say that B inverse A inverse is the inverse of AB. Therefore B inverse A inverse is inverse of AB, and also AB inverse is inverse of AB. This is so because if you take element A, then A inverse is element, then A inverse element is inverse of A, and here we are taking AB as element. Therefore AB inverse must be inverse of AB. Therefore AB inverse is also inverse of AB. But we have just seen that the inverse of element in G is unique. It is not possible that they are present two inverse of a single element in a group. Therefore here we get that AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. The next theorem is called as cancellation law in a group. Okay. Cancellation law actually holds in group, so we will prove it also. So according to this theorem, if G is a group and ABC are elements of G, then if AB is equal to AC, then B is equal to C, and if BA is equal to CA, then B is equal to C. Okay. So what will we do? We will start with AB is equal to AC. Okay. Then AB is equal to AC, we have to show that B is equal to C. So we will start with B. B can be written as B is equal to E into B, where E is the identity element. And identity, we know that A into A inverse is equal to E, right? So we are substituting this value of E here, that A into A inverse is equal to B. So by the associative property, we can write it as AB into A inverse. but AB is equal to AC. This is from our hypothesis. We have assumed it that AB is equal to AC here, right? So we are substituting the value of AB as AC, therefore A inverse into AC. Then again by associative property we can write as A inverse into A is equal to C, but A inverse into A is identity from here, therefore E into C is equal to C. So we have shown that B is equal to C. Similarly, we can prove that BA is equal to CA, and for proving this, we will start with B again. Here we will post multiply to B with E. In the previous step, we have pre-multiplied to E with B, and in this step, we will post multiply to B with E. So B into E, it can be written as B into A inverse, because E is the identity element and A into A inverse is identity. Therefore, B into A is equal into A inverse. We can write this by associative property. Then BA is equal to CA from this hypothesis. Then CA into A inverse is equal to C into A into A inverse. This is by associative property. Then again A into A inverse is identity element. Therefore C into E, which is equal to C. So we have proved that B is equal to C. Therefore, the theorem is proved that if AB is equal to AC, then B is equal to C, and BA is equal to CA, then B is equal to C. Therefore, cancellation law holds in a group. So in today's lecture, what we do is we just saw some results in group theory. First one is uniqueness of identity. That is, if G is a group, then identity element of G is unique. Then we saw the uniqueness of inverse. If G is a group, then every element in A in G has a unique inverse in G. Then we talk about inverse of inverse. If G is a group and A is element of the group, then inverse of A inverse is again A. Then we talk about inverse of product. If G is a group and AB are elements of the group, then AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. Then we see the cancellation law. In the next lecture, we will talk about some propositions related to order of group. So please do like, share and watch our videos. Thank you.